Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Salataya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, I welcome you to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita session. Today is July 13th, 2026, and we are in the 518th session. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 10. The Lord returns to Jagannath Purī, and we are going to read text 177 today. So, this is the conversation happening between Brahmananda Bharati, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and of course Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is there, and all the other devotees are there. So the conversation went like this. Mahaprabhu taught Brahmananda Bharati a lesson. What was the lesson? He made him give up his deer skin. And then after that, Brahmananda Bharati said, Mahaprabhu is, now he's seeing two Brahmans in Jagannath Puri. One is Jagannath and the other is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Jagannath is the stationary Brahman and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the moving Brahman. And Lord Jagannath is the dark complexioned Brahman and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is golden complexioned Brahman, like that. So hearing this, because this can also mean equating a living entity with the Supreme Lord, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never showed himself as the Supreme Lord. He was setting the example of a devotee. So hearing this, Brahmananda Bharati, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, you are right. There are two Brahmans now in Jagannath Puri. One is after you have come, after Brahmananda Bharati has come. Now there are two Brahmans in Jagannath Puri. One is Lord Jagannath and the other is Brahmananda, because your name is Brahman. So then Brahmananda Bharati asked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to be a mediator and decide who is right. Is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu right or is Brahmananda Bharati right? Based on scripture. And then he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made me give up my deer skin by understanding what was going on in my mind. So the difference between the living entity and the Supreme Lord is that of Vyapya and Vyapaka. Vyapya means limited, Vyapaka means unlimited. Vyapya means one's consciousness is limited to the jiva, his consciousness is limited to his body, but Paramatma's consciousness extends through all bodies, through everything, through every atom. So that way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord. That is why he was able to understand what is in my mind, and he made me give up the deer skin. And then he said, also quoting from Mahabharata, Mahabharat's Vishnu Sahasranam. So there is a verse which glorifies Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How his golden complexion, his body is just like molten gold. It's anointed with sandalwood pulp, and he's in the form of a sannyasi, and with controlled senses, and he's fixed in his chanting of the holy names and in his philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bheda, like this. So all these qualities, all these characteristics perfectly fit in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personality. After hearing this, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, I see that you are right. You are the winner. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Brahmananda Bharati and Jagannath both are Brahmans. In a joking way, he said that. And then Sarvabhauma, Brahmananda Bharati said, he had said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath, they are the two Brahmans. So now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gave his judgment. Brahmananda Bharati is right. Now Mahaprabhu is saying, yes, yes, I accept whatever you say, because you are guru and I am disciple. It is a known fact that the disciple is always defeated by guru. So therefore you are the winner because you are guru. So you'll always win. I will have to accept whatever you say. So I accept whatever you say, like that. Now Brahmananda Bharati is saying, no, no, no. It's not that you're defeated because you're a disciple. That's not the point. There is another explanation to this, he said. What is the other explanation? He said that it is the characteristic of the Supreme Lord. It is his natural characteristic to accept defeat from his devotee. And seeing me as your devotee, you are accepting defeat from me. That's the underlying meaning. The reason you are defeated is because it is your characteristic feature, it's your nature to accept defeat from your devotee. Not only that, there is one more glory of yours. What is it? He said, since my birth, ajanma koriyumui nirakara dhyan. That means all my life, from my very birth, I had been an impersonalist. That means Brahma Jnani, one who is meditating on the impersonal Brahman. I had been an impersonalist from my very birth. But as soon as I saw you, now I'm able to see Kṛṣṇa everywhere. I'm seeing Kṛṣṇa now. By seeing you, instead of meditating on Brahman, instead of seeing Brahman everywhere, now I'm seeing Kṛṣṇa. So how did this happen? So actually, oh, 1 second. Made a mistake. Today's verse is not 177, it is 176. Yesterday we did only two verses. We did 174, 175. I have to make some correction. 1 second. Okay. Okay. So, what did Brahmananda Bharati say? Brahmananda Bharati said that So 2 points. He's saying the reason you're defeated is not because you're a disciple and I'm a spiritual master, but again, he's holding on to the point that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord. So he's saying the reason I'm defeated is because it is the nature of the Supreme Lord. It is your nature to accept voluntary defeat from your devotee. And then he said, let me tell you, please listen to one more glory of yours. I had been an impersonalist since my very birth. But simply by seeing you now, I turn to Krishna. Not only did I turn to Krishna, I'm actually experiencing Krishna. I'm seeing Krishna present. So when does one see Krishna present in front of his eyes? When does one experience Krishna? So you can see Krishna in your mind, or you can see Krishna externally. So seeing Krishna in the mind happens seeing Krishna in one's mind happens when one gets bhava bhakti. But when one gets prema bhakti, then he sees Krishna in front of his eyes. 1 second. I'm just checking to see if I'm missing any points here. Just bear with me. Yes, so about the Supreme Lord's accepting defeat from his disciple. It is said, of course, we discussed this yesterday, but I'm going over it one more time. शिष्य वाक्य सत्य होने पर भी गुरु वाक्य ही शिष्य के ऊपर विजयी होता है. That means even if the disciple says something which is true, still the guru's word takes precedence. It wins over the disciple. गुरु वाक्य सब समय ही शिष्य वाक्य की अपेक्षा अधिक आदरणीय होता है. So the words of the spiritual master are more respectable compared to the words of the disciple. Guru's words are more respectable than the words of the disciple. महाप्रभु ने यह कहा, उक्त न्याय के अनुसार श्री ब्रह्मानंद भारती ही गुरु है और महाप्रभु श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य ने स्वयं को उनका शिष्य माना, इसलिए ब्रह्मानंद के वाक्यों की ही विजय हुई. So why did Brahmananda Bharati win according to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Because he is Guru. And even if disciples' words are right, still Guru's words take precedence. They are respected more. So in that sense, Brahmananda Bharati, in front of Brahmananda Bharati, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is defeated, or Brahmananda Bharati won. He wins. किंतु श्री ब्रह्मानंद ने इस विषय में महाप्रभु के द्वारा कहे गए गुरु शिष्य न्याय के आधार को ही उनकी पराजय का कारण स्वीकार नहीं किया. Yes, Brahmananda Bharati didn't accept this as the cause for the defeat of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Which point that that because of being a disciple, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is defeated. Because disciples' words are less significant in front of Guru's words. You understand? That means Guru's words take precedence. Guru's words are more respected. Therefore, Brahmananda Bharati being in the position of Guru, his words are accepted as superior, or, he wins. But Brahmananda Bharati didn't accept this as a reason for the defeat of Mahaprabhu. Instead, what did he say? उन्होंने कहा कि उसका एक और कारण है, वह यह है कि भगवान भक्त के सामने अपनी पराजय स्वीकार करते हैं. यही भगवत्ता का स्वभाव है, जैसे भीष्म वाक्य. So, यहाँ पे Bhishmadev's prayers are being quoted. This is first canto, 9th chapter, text 34. Bhishmadev's prayers are quoted. Swanigamam apahaya mat pratigyamritam adhikartum vapluto rathasthaha. So we discussed this verse yesterday, how Krishna, for the sake of making Bhishmadev's vow come true, he sacrifices his own vow. Because Krishna takes pleasure in accepting defeat from his devotee. This is the point that Brahmananda Bharati is trying to make. श्री भीष्मदेव ने कहा, कुरुक्षेत्र युद्ध में मैं प्रतिज्ञा को मेरा वध करने के लिए दौड़े थे, जिसमें उनका ऊपर का वस्त्र भी गिर गया था. तो दिस इज अ प्रेयर ऑफ भीष्मदेव इन विच Bhishmadev is saying that in order to keep my vow, he had taken a vow, Krishna had taken a vow that he would not take up any weapons. But Bhishmadev had now taken a vow that if Krishna does not pick up a weapon, he is going to kill Arjun. So now, to protect his devotee Arjun, Krishna went back on his own word. Or to protect his devotees' vow, he went back on his own vow. Or both. But in both cases, there's one thing, one quality of Krishna that we see, that Krishna takes pleasure in accepting defeat for his devotee, in front of his devotee or for his devotee. Here he is accepting a defeat, means he's sacrificing his vow for the sake of his devotee. That's the point. Then Brahmananda Bharati said, there's one more thing that, one more glory of yours that I want to say. What is that? All my life I had been, मैं सारा जीवन निराकार ब्रह्म का ध्यान करता रहा हूं. All my life I had been meditating on impersonal Brahman. परंतु आपके साक्षात्कार के फलस्वरूप अपराकृत श्री कृष्ण मूर्ति मेरे सामने उदित हुए. But because of association with you, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, now I am actually directly seeing Krishna in front of me. I am experiencing Krishna in front of me. मेरे मुख में और मन में श्री कृष्ण नाम स्फुरित हो रहा है. And in both on my lips or in my mouth and in my mind, the holy name of Krishna is manifested. Earlier I was meditating on Brahman, but now I am actually, that means kṛṣṇa-nāma has appeared on my tongue and in my mind. एवं नेत्रों से श्री कृष्ण के दर्शन हो रहे हैं. And also the Lord has manifested in front of my eyes. This is the effect of getting your association. फिर आप में श्री कृष्ण रूप दर्शन करके हृदय में भी सेवा की तृष्णा जागृत हुई है. Okay? So what all happened? Brahmananda Bharati is saying, first of all, simply by getting your association, by seeing you, I, who throughout his life from very birth had been an impersonalist, who was meditating on the impersonal Brahman, but simply by coming in your association, I am actually, that means the beautiful form of Krishna has manifested in front of my eyes. I am able to see the beautiful form of Krishna. His holy name has appeared on my tongue and his holy name has appeared in my mind. I am actually able to experience. So I'm experiencing the holy name on my tongue and the holy name in my mind. Not only that, I'm seeing the form of Krishna in front of my eyes. After this, I am seeing the form of Krishna in you. That means in you, I am seeing you as that Krishna. आप में श्री कृष्ण रूप दर्शन करके. That means I am seeing Lord Kṛṣṇa here standing in front of me in the form of, like in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I am seeing Krishna. And after seeing this, I am getting a great thirst for devotional service in my heart. A great thirst for devotional service has awakened in my heart. So, this is what Srila Brahmananda Bharati is saying. That we didn't read yet. That was text 176, what I told you, the last portion. We will read that now. I will go over it one more time afterwards at the end of the class. So today's verse is text 176. kṛṣṇa-nāma sphure mukhe mane netre Kṛṣṇa tomāke tad-rūpa dekhi hṛdaya satṛṣṇa. kṛṣṇa-nāma sphure mukhe. That means on my tongue, in my mouth, the holy name of Kṛṣṇa has appeared. Mane netre Kṛṣṇa. And in my mind also, I am seeing Kṛṣṇa. And in front of my eyes, I am seeing Kṛṣṇa. On my Kṛṣṇa has appeared on my tongue, and then Kṛṣṇa has appeared in my heart, and Kṛṣṇa has appeared in front of my eyes, simply by your association. Tomāke tad-rūpa dekhi, hṛdaya satṛṣṇa. And then seeing that same form of Kṛṣṇa, which has appeared in my mind, in front of my eyes, and on my tongue, now seeing that same form of Kṛṣṇa as you. So I'm seeing you, but when I see you, I'm actually seeing Kṛṣṇa. And when I see you, now a great thirst or desire for devotional service to serve you has awakened in my heart. Tomāke tad-rūpa dekhi hṛdaya satṛṣṇa. Brahmananda Bharati continued, since I have seen you, I have been feeling Lord Kṛṣṇa's presence in my mind and have been seeing him before my eyes. I now want to chant the holy name of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Over and above this, within my heart, I consider you to be Kṛṣṇa, and I am therefore very eager to serve you. Bilvamangala yaiche daśā āpanāra. Iha dekhi sei daśā āpanāra. Bilvamangala yaiche daśā āpanāra. Matlab, whatever you have done to Bilvamangala Thakura, that means the state, that means the condition that you put Bilvamangala Thakura in by so when Bilvamangala, so whatever you did to Bilvamangala Thakura, in other words, the same thing you have done to me. I'm going through the same situation that Bilvamangala Thakura had gone through. Bilvamangala yaiche daśā āpanāra. So Bilvamangala Thakura was also an impersonalist, apparently. So that's why Bilvamangala yaiche daśā āpanāra. That means ठाकुर बिल्वमंगल पूर्व जीवन में अद्वैतवादी निराकार ब्रह्म ध्यान परायण थे और बाद में श्री कृष्ण भक्त होकर उन्होंने अपनी यह बात कही है. मेरी भी आज वही दशा हुई है. Meaning, whatever was experienced by Bilvamangala Thakura, I'm seeing that I'm experiencing the same thing. Or whatever has happened to Bilvamangala Thakura, I'm seeing that the same thing has happened to me. whatever has happened to Bilvamangala Thakur, the same thing has happened to me. Bilvamangala kaila yaiche daśā āpanāra. Iha dekhi sei daśā hoilo amara. Bilvamangala Ṭhākura abandoned his impersonal realization for the realization of the personality of Godhead. I now see that my condition is similar to his, for it has already changed. So Srila Prabhupada's purport, there's a nice big purport to this verse. Let's read. In his early life, Bilvamangala Thakur was an impersonalistic monist. That means a jnani, one who is following the Jnana Marga. And he used to meditate upon the impersonal Brahman effulgence. Later, he became a devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa, and his explanation for this change is given in a verse 178, the next one. Later, he became a devotee, and why he became a devotee, that is explained in the next verse. That is quoted in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sometimes a devotee gradually comes to the stage of Bhagavan realization of the Supreme Person, after having attained the lower stages of realization, namely Brahman, impersonal Brahman realization and localized Paramatma realization. The condition of such a devotee is described in the Chaitanya Chandramrita by Prabodhananda Saraswati. Kaivalyam narakayate tridashapur akasha pushpayate durdantendriya kala sarpapatali प्रोत्खात दंष्ट्रायते विश्वं पूर्ण सुखायते विधिमहेन्द्रादिश्च कीटादयते यत्कारुण्य कटाक्ष वैभववतां तं गौरमेवस्तुमः. So this is from Chaitanya Chandramrita by Prabodhananda Saraswati. Kaivalya, oneness in the effulgence of Brahman, appears hellish to a devotee. The heavenly planets, the abodes of the demigods, appear to a devotee like phantasmagorias. The yogis meditate for sense control, but for the devotee, the senses appear like serpents with broken teeth. The devotee doesn't have to control his senses, for his senses are already engaged in the Lord's service. Consequently, there is no possibility that the senses will act like serpents. In the material condition, the senses are as strong as poisonous snakes. But when the senses are engaged in the Lord's service, they are like poisonous snakes with their fangs removed, and so they are no longer dangerous. The entire world is a replica of Vaikuntha for the devotee because he has no anxiety. He sees that everything belongs to Kṛṣṇa and he does not want to enjoy anything for himself. He does not even aspire for the position of Lord Brahma or Indra. He simply wants to engage everything in the service of the Lord. Therefore, he has no problem. He stands in his original constitutional position. All this is possible when he receives Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's merciful glance. In the Chaitanya Chandramrita, there are many more verses illustrating this same principle. Dhik kurvanti cha brahma yoga vidushas tam gaura chandram numaha. From Chaitanya Chandramrita 6. Tavat brahma katha vimukta padavi tavannatikti bhavet tavat chapi vishrinkhalatvamayate no loka veda sthitihi tavat shastra vidammitah kalakalo nana bahirvatmasu Sri Chaitanya Padambuja Priyajano Yavanna Diggocharaha. Chaitanya Chandramrita 19. Gauras Chaurah Sakalam Haratko Pi Me Tivraviryaha. Chaitanya Chandramrita 60. A discussion of the impersonal Brahman is not very palatable to a devotee. The so-called regulations of the Shastras also appear null and void to him. There are many people who argue over the Shastras, but for a devotee, such discussions are but tumultuous roaring. By the influence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these problems disappear. So there's a lot of discussion that is to be done in this purport. We'll take it slowly. So here, first of all, the pastime is proceeding like this. Brahmananda Bharati is saying that I have been an impersonalist all my life, but by coming in the association of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, now I've been meditating on impersonal Brahman all my life, but simply by coming in the association of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, now I'm seeing Krsṇa. I'm seeing Krsṇa manifest before me. Krsṇa is on my tongue, Krsṇa is in my mind, Krsṇa is in front of my eyes. And then when I see Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, I'm seeing him as non-different from Krsṇa, and immediately I get this desire to do devotional service. I'm getting this great hankering to do devotional service. My condition has become like the condition of Bilvamangala Thakura. Why? Why my condition has become exactly like Bilvamangala Thakur's, he's saying. Because Bilvamangala Ṭhākura was also an impersonalist before. He was a Brahmavadi or a Jnani before. But later on, he realized Bhagavan. He saw Krsṇa. And he's experiencing Krsṇa. And he fell in love with Krsṇa, Bilvamangala Ṭhākura. So Brahmananda Bharati is saying, my condition has become just like Brahmananda Bharati's. But how did, like Bilvamangala Ṭhākura's. But how did it become like that? Simply by coming in the association of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Just by seeing him once. Simply by seeing Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu once, my condition has become just like Bilvamangala Ṭhākura's condition. So now we have to understand what is Bilvamangala Ṭhākura's condition, so that we will understand Brahmananda Bharati's situation better. So now let's read the purport step by step. In his early life, Bilvamangala Ṭhākura was an impersonalistic monist, and he used to meditate upon the impersonal Brahman effulgence. We have discussed this before many times. Still, I will, for those of you who have not, who are not exposed to this knowledge, I will show you the Transcendental Diagram to understand who is a Jnani. And then by looking at that diagram, you will be able to better appreciate the explanation, how a Jnani becomes a devotee, how a Jnani becomes a Bhakta. Just one moment. Okay. I'm sharing the screen with you. So, Brahmananda Bharati had been an impersonalist Jnani all his life. So, Jnani, this is the Jnana Marga. People who have crossed this path. So, who are on this path, they are called Jnanis. And one who reaches this stage is called, one who has reached the perfection of the Jnana Marga. And from this stage, the next thing is he'll go and merge into Brahman, Brahma Prapti. So this is Jnani. So quickly, let me tell you what happens in Jnana Marga. Karmi means one who has not yet turned towards the absolute truth. That means a karmi's work is only work, earn, and enjoy. He has no idea of spiritual life what is the goal of life? I want to get out of this cycle of birth and death. He does not have this understanding. He has not turned towards the absolute truth. That is a karmi. When does a karmi start looking towards the absolute truth? When he gets the association of a sadhu. So sadhus are two types. He can be a jnani sadhu or a bhakta sadhu. Two types of sadhus. So if he gets the association of a jnani sadhu, then he will go in the jnana marga. If he gets the association of a bhakta sadhu, he will go in the bhakti marga. So now we are talking about jnanis. If this karmi got the association of a jnani sadhu, what is the first thing that happens in his life? Karmi does what? Karmi does karma. So this jnani will not tell him to stop karma. He will say, do your karma. And what is karmi's consciousness? He is doing fruitive work. That means he does karma so that he can get the result and he wants to enjoy that result. That is a karmi. Now the jnani tells him, you do karma because that is your nature. According to your nature, you are doing this karma. But don't do it for the sake of the result. You do it with a sense of duty. I'm doing this karma because this is my nature. So according to my nature, this is the work which is assigned to me to earn my livelihood by my guru. So I will do this work. But I will not do this work in order to get more and more material results. No, my idea is I want to become free from this entanglement because karma binds us. Karma binds us to this material world. And my goal is I want to attain the supreme, the absolute truth. Therefore, I should work without attachment to the result. One point. In Nishkama Karma Yoga, he's encouraged to continue doing his karma, but without the expectation of fruit. Rather, you do it with a sense of duty. Just do the work and offer all the result to the Lord. So don't expect the result. And when the result comes, offer all the result to Bhagavan. And there's one more point here. When you do any work in this material world, sometimes it is pleasing, sometimes it is painful. It is not always a cakewalk. Sometimes you're inspired, sometimes you're not inspired. But Nishkama Karma Yoga means regardless of how you feel, whether you're feeling pain or pleasure, you must do your particular dharma. How you feel should not stop your work. You should push yourself to do your dharma. So there is one more crucial point here. That is why it is important that people's occupational duties should be according to their psychophysical nature. This is Varnashrama Dharma. Everyone has a swabhava, a nature, either that of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, like that. If you work according to your particular nature, then in spite of difficulty, you will be able to continue your dharma because that's your nature. It will not be affected by external conditions. External conditions means even your mental condition or external physical condition, whatever it is. In spite of the difficulty, you will be able to do your dharma if it is according to your nature. But if the work is not according to your nature, when there is some disturbance, you will not be able to continue that work. That is why it is important that your occupational duty should be according to your nature. Okay, so now this Jnani tells this Karmi to continue whatever work he is doing according to his nature, but change the quality of that work. Don't work for the result. And when the result comes, offer it to the Lord and you tolerate both pains and pleasures. Sometimes you get so much recognition, so much result, honor, wealth, etc. for your work. And at other times, completely ignored, rejected. Under all circumstances, you should continue doing your duty. So this procedure, this quality of work is called Nishkama Karma Yoga. So initially, when a karmi comes in contact with a jnani, jnani does not discourage him to give up all this karma. Why you're working, you're not this body. You're Brahma. Why you're working? Give up all this karma. He won't say immediately because he has to purify his heart first. So by doing Nishkama Karma Yoga, his heart becomes purified. How? He will not identify himself with this body, but he will come to the realization, I'm not this body. If I'm not this body, then none of the designations of the body apply to me. So until that time, until he gets this Antakarna Shuddhi means the heart is purified and you realize I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. Until that time, he has to do Nishkama Karma Yoga. So this is Nishkama Karma Yoga. So the Jnani will encourage him to continue Nishkama Karma Yoga until he gets Antakarna Shuddhi. Antakarna Shuddhi means now he has realized I'm not this body, I'm soul. Realized, not just theoretically knowing. That means now he's not, avidya. This is when you're under avidya, then you're identifying with the body. So now his avidya is replaced by vidya. Those details I won't tell now, but just I'm trying to tell you the Jnana Marga. So after this, what he will do, after he realizes that I'm not this body, I'm soul, now he will give up all karma. No more work. He leaves home. He takes sannyas and he practices Jnana Sadhanas. What are Jnana Sadhanas? 20 Jnana Sadhanas are given in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Amanitvam, Madambhitvam, Ahimsa, Kshantirarjavam. Remaining humble, giving up home, seeing the results of attachment to home, wife and children, all these things. And Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. This is the reality of this material life. So all this is practiced. These are called Jnana Sadhanas. Along with this, there is also Bhakti done to Bhagavan as one of the Jnana Sadhanas. Because without Bhakti, no sadhana will give its result. Jnana sadhana also will not give you Brahma Prapti if you don't do Bhakti. So by practicing and along with practicing these Jnana sadhanas, actually at this point itself, when he enters into this Jnana Marga, he will take shelter of a Guru, a Jnani Guru. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So a tattvadarshi Guru, he will take shelter and then he will hear Upanishads from him. Upanishads are describing the absolute truth as Brahman. So he was hearing about Brahman from Upanishads, from his Guru. But for him to understand those Upanishads properly, understand Brahman properly, he has to increase his mode of goodness. For that, he practices Jnana Sadhanas. By these Jnana Sadhanas, his Vidya, mode of goodness is increasing more and more. Okay? By that, now he will actually understand Brahman, Tat Padartha Jnanam. So, and then after that, after realizing that Brahman, now, how does he realize this Brahman? When he realizes Brahman, now he will see Brahman everywhere. After understanding Brahman, he has to realize Brahman. So for realizing Brahman, he will stop seeing, this is his practice. He will stop seeing the qualities of all objects. So he will stop seeing stoneness in stone. He will stop seeing liquidity in water, waterness in water. By that, what will happen? You don't see the features, the attributes of any object. No form, no color, no shape, and nothing, movement. Then what do you see there? You'll simply see oneness everywhere. And that is called Brahman realization. Whatever you are seeing, you don't see the attributes of those things or those people. You're simply seeing their existence. Something is existing. This is called Brahman realization. And after this is Tat Padartha Jnanam. And finally, so at this stage, he's called Jivan Mukta. That means even though he's in this body, he's liberated. Because he's experiencing Brahman all the time. So our Brahmananda Bharati, his condition was like this. He's experiencing Brahman everywhere. He had been a Brahmavadi or a Jnani from his very birth, he's saying. So also one more thing is, it's just like Bhakti. It's not that in one lifetime you get success. If you don't finish it in this lifetime, then again you take birth and you continue wherever you left off. You continue from there. So here we are seeing, he's saying, all my life from my very birth, That means he must have been a jnani in the past life also. That's why from his very birth he started off meditating on Brahman. So we don't know for how many lifetimes he was practicing Brahman, meditation on Brahman. But simply by coming in touch with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, once seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he lost that Brahman meditation. He's seeing Brahman everywhere before. Jivan Mukta means he sees Brahman everywhere. Now he's not seeing Brahman everywhere. He's seeing Krishna everywhere. So how does this, somebody who's on the path of jnana, how can he come to the path of bhakti? This is a very crucial point. Just like here we said, karmi can become either a jnani or a bhakta depending on the association of a devotee. If he gets the association of a jnani, he'll enter jnana marga. He will get the association of a bhakta, then he will take to bhakti marga. Depends on the potency of the devotee, how powerful is his bhakti. Then he can bring anyone to bhakti. So this is not just for karmi. This is also applicable for a jnani. He can be a very, most successful Jivan Mukta Jnani. In that stage, if he comes in the association of a very powerful Bhakta, Vaishnava, then he can also come to the path of bhakti. So really, how do you get bhakti? You get bhakti only when you get the mercy of a pure devotee. That's the only way a person can get bhakti. When you get the mercy of a pure devotee, that's when you can get bhakti. And the type of devotee whose association you're getting, whose mercy you're getting, then that type of bhakti you will also do. If you get the association of a pure devotee, then you will also be inspired to do pure devotional service. If you get the association of a mixed devotee, then you can only be brought up to that point, isn't it? That bhakta can only give you what he has. He cannot give you more than what he has. Here, who did Sri Brahmananda Bharati come in touch with? He came in touch with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is Lord Kṛṣṇa with the bhakti of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani is the topmost devotee in the entire creation. The topmost devotee is Srimati Radharani. So that bhakti now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is having. And now coming in the association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what happened to Brahmananda Bharati? Immediately, instead of seeing Brahman everywhere, he's seeing Krishna. And he's inspired in his heart to chant Krishna's names. Okay? So now, if we read the purport, I think it should make more sense. But maybe we can even continue tomorrow. I'll read a little bit and then we'll stop. So in his early life, Bilvamangala Ṭhākura was an impersonalistic monist. So monist means a Brahmavadi, a jnani. And he used to meditate upon the impersonal Brahman effulgence. Later, he became a devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa. So later, he became a devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa. How does an impersonalist monist become a devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa? Obviously, he must have received the mercy of a devotee. He must have come in contact with a devotee. That's when. In Bilvamangala Thakura's case, it is said, Chintamani, the prostitute to whom he was going, she had inspired him to surrender to Kṛṣṇa. And then that's why he sees her as his guru, accepts her as his guru, who has inspired him to turn to Kṛṣṇa. Like that. So by the association of a devotee, only, and in that association by the mercy of a devotee only, even an impersonalist monist can become a devotee. So about Bilvamangala Ṭhākura we are reading. Later he became a devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa, and his explanation for this change is given in verse 178. So why he changed, that is given in the next verse. We will read that tomorrow. That is quoted in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sometimes a devotee gradually comes to the stage of Bhagavan realization. So that's the thing. Hare Krishna. If a person, a karmi, let's go back to our diagram. If a karmi, this is a karmi. If a karmi can come directly in the association of a bhakta. not in the association of a jnani. If he comes directly in the association of a bhakta, then he won't realize Brahman and Paramatma directly. He will, uh, follow this path of bhakti. He will only be worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he will realize Kṛṣṇa or Bhagavan in other forms, depending on which sadhu's association he gets. He gets the association of a Rama Bhakta, then he will become a Rama Bhakta. If he gets the association of a Kṛṣṇa Bhakta, he will become a Kṛṣṇa Bhakta, like that. But it is also possible that the karmi first came in the association. You will see in devotees also. First, they came in the association of some jnanis. So they take to that path as a spiritual path, impersonal meditation. Later on, they come in the association of a devotee, and then they take to the path of bhakti. That means, and similarly, some people come to yoga, yoga meditation, and their goal is Paramatma Prapti. But then they come in the association of devotees after becoming yogis. Then they take to bhakti path. So that is why in the purport, or it is possible that one directly comes to the association of devotional service in the association of devotees. It is possible. So that's why here Srila Prabhupada is saying that sometimes a devotee gradually comes to the stage of Bhagavan realization of the Supreme Person after having attained the lower stages of realization, impersonal Brahman realization, localized Paramatma realization. See? So if you have gotten a Jnani's realization, then first you realize Brahman. If you get a yogi's association, then you realize Paramatma first. Like that. It is possible. It's not necessary that before realizing Bhagavan, one has to realize Brahman and Paramatma. No. You will realize Brahman if you get the association of a Jnani. If you realize Paramatma, if you get the association of a yogi and you take to that path, and then you can realize. But after that, by good fortune, if you get the association of a devotee, then after realizing Brahman, Paramatma also, they can realize Bhagavan. That is the point. That is why it is said, sometimes. It is not always, sometimes. The condition, and how is it decided? You will take which path? It all depends on the association you get. Who will decide what type of association you should get? That sadhu will decide. That sadhu will give his, because especially when it comes to bhakti, Parama Swatantra Bhagavad Bhakta. Bhagavad Bhakta is supremely independent. Even the Lord is not controlling him. The supremely independent devotee, Madhyama Bhakta, who discriminates between the Lord, the devotees, the envious, and the ignorant. He will act accordingly. So he will give his mercy to the ignorant out of his free will. So that is why what type of association you get depends on the sadhu's free will. Especially when you get the association of a pure devotee, it is by the free will of that sadhu, by that devotee. So the condition of such a devotee is described in Chaitanya Chandramrita. So Kaivalya, oneness in the effulgence of Brahman, appears hellish to the devotee. So this we can discuss tomorrow. I'll stop at this point today. It's already time. We will discuss tomorrow. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo ananta koti